Apparently, I went to Istanbul a few weeks ago. Apparently, you can't eat everything. Everything. So I got like an E. coli type of bacteria 2 weeks ago, and I did 3 talks at 101, 102 temperature. Don't remember them at all, which is awesome for tweets. Just let her rip, it's great. And then antibiotics, and that's fine until yesterday, and it all came back. So I'm jacked up on Imodium, Pepto, and Tylenol. So let's do this. Let's make this happen. Hence why I'm sitting in this chair. I'm usually very jazz hands, kind of running up and down the stage, but luckily for our camera guy, I'm not moving. So unless I have to go to the bathroom, I'm running. Please don't tweet that, though. Some things don't need to be tweeted, okay? Same goes with Facebook. No need to know that I went to the bathroom. So, yeah. Thank you for coming. Where's Dave today? Dave's over there. Can you give Dave another round of applause, please? Well, I'll tell you why. You just did it because I told you so. Awesome. Give me another round of applause, please. So why I want you to is this was not on the book tour stop. It wasn't one of the stops. And Dave wrote to me, what, maybe 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, and said, hey, you're going to come to the Niagara region. I'm like, no, I'm not actually. I'm not there. It's not on the schedule. He's like, no, yeah, you're just going to come. He told me I'm coming. It wasn't like, can we do, I'm just going to come. And he did it, and he got the books, and he put out the risk, and he put out the promotion. That means a lot to me, so thank you for taking that risk. And that's a testament to engagement, too. If we had never engaged on Twitter, if we'd never done anything like that, then this wouldn't have happened. So, I get to be a walking case study for my own stuff, which is very, very cool. I do apologize that I can't stick around after I finish talking, because I'm going to the hospital. Seriously, I'm going there for tests. You don't want me signing your book right now, so. What I will do I'll make sure to send signed stickers for everybody. I have a sticker that says, ignore the haters, you're not the jackass whisperer. It's an awesome sticker. It's got a donkey on it. So I'll sign a bunch of those for everybody, and we'll get them all to you. So you can then put it in your book. I don't want you to feel like you're not going to get the book. So, plus, again, being delirious, I don't know what I'm writing in the book. And then you don't want to do that. So this is my favorite kid on the internet. He's the awesome kid. My favorite kid in the world is my son, but he wouldn't sign the model release for the talk. So, and we have a kid here that doesn't like Twitter, that their parents are on Twitter. Every time I take a picture of my son, of Owen, call him Un Jr. Every time I take a picture, he's like, don't tweet it. He's 11, he's like, don't tweet it. Don't put it on Facebook. But this is what I do with the world. I gotta tell them. Like, no. So, I'm not allowed to tweet any of his pictures because of him, not because of me. So what are we going to talk about today, and what is kind of the theme of the book that you guys have got today, The Business of Awesome and The Business of Unawesome? By the way, we pitched the book to my publisher, Wiley, as a flip book, kind of as a joke. We didn't think they'd go for it, and they said, that sounds awesome. And we said, oh, okay. And then we wrote it. So, being a flip book, and if you've got yours with you, you'll notice there's 2 author bios, 2 beginnings, 2 ends, and 2 author photos. My author photo on the unawesome side, if you want to look at it inside the jacket, don't pull it out, no effort if you don't want, it's not there, you'll see it after. But it's me yelling. And that's not a posed picture. That is me yelling at a conference, like very angry. And, excuse me. So, why I was yelling was half the room was HR and half the room was marketing in Texas. And they were apart, and I always think that HR and marketing should work together. And they were literally sitting apart at the event. Like half the room was one, half the room was the other. They won't even relate to each other. And I understand it because I used to be in HR until I realized I hated people. So I got out of the field. And I think that's the most, we'll talk about that today. And that's a lot of the theme in this book. And it's why I like it because it's different than the first one, than on marketing, where this one's a lot about engagement when it comes to customers and employees. I think employees are your biggest marketers. I think they're the most important marketers we've got. It's allowed me to gel both my backgrounds in marketing and HR, which was really cool for me. So as an example of what we talk about, the business of awesome, on the left you have the Ritz-Carlton logo, where we all know it for the most part, right? $1 billion brand, very recognizable, a lot of money, time, and effort put into that logo, right? A lot. On the right is Joshi. And Joshy is a poorly stuffed giraffe, if you can tell. Joshy was left at the Ritz-Carlton at the Amelia Island Resort in Florida. I actually just stayed there about a month ago. It was an amazing place. And he was left there by a family. A wife brought her 2 sons to the resort while the father went to California for business. She took them to Florida. And he left Joshy there. Kid's 5 years old. Anybody have kids here? And I know you don't want to think about them right now, but yes? Okay, good. So, if your kid has something, you know, the thing, teddy bear, blankie, soother. My kid had 3 soothers. We called them susus. He was like a susu ninja. He's just 3 soothers. What happens if your kid left their thing somewhere and lost it? What would happen? They'd freak out, right? They'd lose their mind. It's like if you left your phone somewhere, right? Yes? Am I wrong? I once asked a room full of parents, what would be worse if you lost your kid at the mall or you lost your phone at the mall? Think about it. The very nature of some of you are looking at me like this, oh, he's right. You know it, right? They'd return the kid to security, yeah? When was the last time you heard a page on the intercom of the mall saying, Jeff, pick up your iPhone, please? No, it's always the kid. The kid will come back. iPhone won't. So we understand the panic, yes? No, you walk out of the house, you do like the triple pocket check, you know, the phone, walk, go, boom, 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 go. If it's not there for a second, because I put it in my sweater pocket instead, literally have to change my pants. That is too soon right now. It's way too soon for this meeting. So, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hoodie and sweater, this is my favorite company called Sevenly. If you've ever gone, Sevenly, sevenly.org, so sevenly.org. They are a clothing company that donates, every week they pick a new charity. And they have great clothes. And if you ever want to, write down that site and go check it out. I know it's a side note here, but write it down and check it out. Not necessarily even to buy the clothes, although they're amazing. I'm actually wearing a Sevenly t-shirt underneath this too, because they're so freaking comfortable and awesome. They donate X amount of dollars per shirt, per sweater to the charity, but check out how they do things. Along the top, it says their goal for the number of Facebook shares, their goal for a number of tweets, and their goal for amount of money raised. And what that does is it gets people to see it to say, hey, I can add to that total. And nonprofit, and that's actually my corporate background when I started, was nonprofit, to getting people to donate and to do things, and not only spread the word, but donate. And it's very hard to get them to do both. You ever see that? Right? A lot of people will spread the word about a nonprofit, but not a lot of people will give. They think it's enough just to tweet or to share it on Facebook. So go check them out. They're brilliant how they do it. Everything from, if you order something too, you get a package, and it says, look at you being all, you know, awesome and helping the world. On the actual packaging, on the back it says, and you're in Canada, eh? You know, because they ship from the States up to here. They have stickers that they want you to put in your phone. It's just amazing what they do. So check them out. They're an amazing study to look at it, and it's a really good, cool on a social aspect on how they do it. And when you share it, they actually thank you, which is pretty awesome too. So,
say the name again, sorry.
Sevenly, 7LY, so SEVENLY.org. Just look at it from a business perspective. No, they're not, and understand there's one of the knocks on them, some people say as well, the problem is, okay?
Can you get the mic a little closer?
Can you not hear me?
It's a little hard.
Is it quiet back there? All
You're
right.
in certain positions, it's really loud in others.
Well, I'll just make this change then. Check this out. You're gonna tell me to turn it down in a second.
You can turn it down.
How's that taste? Is that good? Is that better? All right. Hi. So, one of the knocks on Sevenly is that they only donate a certain percentage. You know, it's like a t-shirt's $25 and they donate $7. So hey, I got no problem. Donating is self-serving for people too. We either do it for social recognition, to make ourselves feel better, or to get something out of it. That's why we have tiers when it comes to donations and what you get. Even my kids' fundraising, you know, you raise $100, you get a stupid Slinky or something like that, or a $3 prize. So it's very cool. Go look at it. Just on a business aspect, very cool site to see. And I bought 8, maybe 9 shirts or sweaters from them out of the past 12 weeks. Every time I get an email, I react to it. I buy. I want to do something with it because I love their stuff. Really good lesson. Sorry, back to these guys. So Joshy was left at the Ritz-Carlton. And so they panic. And the father does what most responsible parents would do. He lied to his kid and said, Joshy is on an extended vacation. So You know, he'll be back next week. Which is risky, right? Like, what happens if they don't find Joshy? You're going to be selling something fierce very soon to do it yourself, right? Who wants to do that? So he calls and begs, please, please tell me you found Joshy. And they're like, yeah, we did. We found him. One of the people, the room attendants found him, which I think is amazing by its own, by the way. And they said, we'll send it back to you. And now, most times, if you ever left something at a hotel and they find it, what usually happens? They say, give us your credit card, we'll ship it back, and you'll get it in like 6 to 8 months. Just whenever it comes back. Not only did they not charge them to send Joshy back, not only did they send it overnight back to him because they knew how valuable it was, they also sent photos of Joshy on his extended vacation. Joshy catching some rays by the pool. Joshy meeting some new friends at the bar. That dolphin is going to be cut off in a second. Simmer down, dolphin. Simmer down. Joshy hitting the links. And since he has no money because he's a frickin' stuffed giraffe, he had to work his stay off, so he worked in loss prevention for the hotel. And since he worked for them, he had to get an ID badge. They sent the ID badge, all the pictures, and Joshy plus a letter from them back to them the next day.
That's cool.
What word describes this to you? Awesome. Awesome, right? What do you think the father did when he got the package? Other than just crap his pants. What did he do? Again, too soon. What did he do? He told everybody, yes. We share awesome. The point of titling this book about awesome and unawesome is that's what we share. We spread these things. Brands to me are not logos, they're stories. They're experiences. And this is the thing about logos, is that we focus on this in marketing. We focus so much on this. Anybody here ever been part of a design team for a logo? Or had to approve a logo? Just put a sword up my nose, right? I'll never get that time back in my life. It's like 8 to 12 weeks of doing it. And there's like a left-facing lion camp of people. There's a right-facing lion camp of people. There's an entire sub-faction of font people. Yes? There's the awkward Comic Sans group who doesn't get talked to at all. There's the lion tongue out group. There's the lion tongue in group. There's a bold font group. They're a bunch of jackasses, but they like the bold font, right? There's the awkward italics ones. They're mostly artsy, and they just want to make fun. At the end of the day, though, nobody cares. I'm not going to say nobody cares about any logo. I don't want to brush over that broad stroke, but what I mean by that is nobody cares. Ever. About any logo in the history of the earth. I don't want to generalize. But that's pretty much it. Tweet that. There's some great arguments coming out with that one. What I mean by this is a logo has to look the way it's supposed to. That makes sense? It's got to look professional. Ritz-Carlton, you can't have free crayons dripped across the thing and it looks like it's done on Print Master from your Commodore 64 back in the day. If you understood that joke, I love you, and we're going to hang out later on like ICQ or IRC chat and stuff. We're going to hang out. What I mean is, a different version of this logo would not change the company. If they came out with a lion facing right, you would make a difference. We spend so much time on these things. And nothing happens. Nothing matters about it. Nobody's ever said that, the Ritz-Carlton, the beds were too hard, the room service was overpriced, the front desk person was a jerk. But did you see the logo? It's exquisite. It's strong and bold, and we're going to stay there next month. I enjoy the logo. All a logo does, once you or somebody you know has experienced the brand, all a logo does is conjure up the story, right? You recognize a logo, and you have all this crap out there about the most recognizable logos in the world. You got McDonald's, you got Coke, you got Nike, and how much that logo is worth. It's crap. If the swoosh went the other way, it would still be worth the same. If the golden arches were curved in a little bit more a degree of an angle, it would still be the same. What made those logos strong is what the company has done. That's the difference. There's a huge difference. You have to realize those two things are different, to the point that the Ritz-Carlton is this to me. The Ritz-Carlton is Joshy. When you see a company, you automatically think, what do I know about them? Now, a logo serves a purpose. If I've never heard of you, if I'm driving by and I see a logo in front of a restaurant, it could tell me what the place is like, potentially. But this is the problem. We try to do this with all of our companies. We try to say, we dictate the brand. We will put the branding message out there. We will market. And that doesn't happen. That is not the case. We don't decide what our brand is. Our audience does. Our customers do. Your brand statement's useless. Ask your customer. You want to know what your brand is? Email 5 customers and say, what do we stand for? Give me 3 words that describe us. It will not be the 3 words you choose. Trust me. We can try to influence our brand, but our brand is designated and dictated by the audience for which it's shown to. That's it. The Ritz-Carlton to me is Joshy. That's how it works. They're awesome. I went down there and was trying to find people who were not happy. You ever done that? You ever gone to Disney or something, or Ritz-Carlton? You go, I'm like, just find me one person who thinks life sucks. Just find me one person that works there who hates their job. I couldn't find it. Trust me, I tried. I went for the person who was like the busser who was cleaning the dishes after the conference. I'm like, you like your job? She's like, yeah, I do. It's great. Come on. You hate it a little bit? No. Branding is important when it comes to hiring, though, too. And that's what really can dictate our brand. What I want to show you with that is an example of Lush. Anybody here been to Lush before? Right? It's a soap store, right? So obviously I don't go, but it's a soap store. And I did an undercover operation at Square One. It's Mississauga, right, just west of Toronto. And I live in Oakville, by the way, so automatically I'm pretentious and judgmental. And that's just what comes with the territory. And I did Square One. I went on a Tuesday afternoon at 1 p.m. I went to 24 different stores, 22 stores, to see how I'd be treated. Anybody ever worked retail in their life? You'll know what Tuesday afternoon at 1 p.m. is like. Dead, right? There's nobody there. So you figured when I walked into the stores, their reaction was going to be, oh, welcome, sir. We're so happy you chose us today. What can I help you with? And no, not once. Now you go into a store, right now. Right now, walk into a store right now and you'll get this. What? I'll be over here if you need something. I hate customers. If it wasn't for customers, the job was so much easier. Right? Which is my favorite line, by the way. Of everything. So I went to 21, 22 stores and I got the horrible treatment. And then I went to my last store. I went into Lush. Holy monkey snot. I walked into Lush and the girl at the cash register looks up and just goes, hi. Hello. It's first time here? I'm like, yeah. Let me give you a tour. And she gives me a tour like it's a palatial estate. She walks around. This is 9 square feet, the entire store. I'm going to show you the master suite here. This is the bath bombs. Do you take baths? I'm like, no, I don't take baths. Where's the bath salts and bath bombs and soap by the pound? I walked out with $79 worth of soap. I got home, my girlfriend said, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna go take a bath. You want to improve your bottom line, improve your front line. Those are the ones that can influence. Those are the ones that can change things. Those answering emails, phone calls, cash registers, front desks, aisleways, hallways, whatever it is. The people that are directly, physically in contact or virtually in contact with your frontline customers, they're the ones that can market the most. They're the ones that can market the most and change our brand on a daily basis. And that's what scares me. That's what scares me. We don't realize this. To me, it's passion plus knowledge equals profit. That's a good tweet. I'll wait. Go ahead. It's fine. Type unmarketing, type retweet. Okay, good. We're good. So that's for me. I used to do hiring. I started out at Goodwill Toronto's head office in Jarvis and Adelaide, Toronto. And I hired a lot based on experience. And if I can go back to my days in HR again, I would change that. I used to put out job ads for retail, for full-time retail, for assistant managers, for managers, and I used to put 3 to 5 years experience. My default. Why? I don't know. Because everybody else did it. I don't know why. Because we needed to cull the herd, as we called it. We need to reduce the resumes. I can't imagine how many great people I didn't even see because of that. If I did it now, I would hire based on passion, not necessarily experience. I do not know the difference between 2 years retail experience and 4 years. I don't know. I don't know if you know either. I don't know the difference between 3 years and 7 years, except the 7-year person hates people even more. Right? If you've been in retail for over 5 years, you legally can murder one person a year. Just from what you have to put up with, out there, right? So I would put less vested in. The problem with hiring properly, though, is it takes longer. You have to sit down with the person. You have to be able to interview well, not just interview. There's a skill set based in interviewing. And there's personality things, to see how they feel, versus warm body syndrome. And the problem is those warm bodies, and that syndrome is simply putting somebody there to work for you. The problem with that is they are the biggest marketers, and that's trouble. Now, when we wrote the book, we put out the book of Business Awesome. I had some serious business people say to me, you shouldn't call it awesome. You shouldn't put that in the title. Serious business people won't take it seriously. And I'm like, oh, good. That's a good thing. I don't want them to have it. To me, awesome has an ROI. It's not cheesy. The term awesome to me, wow, it's overused and good. I hope so. I want awesome to be used a lot. There's an ROI to being awesome. There's an ROI to that person at lunch. There's an ROI on all different aspects of being great. When you love what you do, when you're good at it, when you're passionate, you have knowledge, it equals profit. Like, for example, I live in planes and hotels. This is what I do. All I do is do talks now. That's it. And I've called for wake-up calls hundreds of times in the past couple years at hotels. Hundreds. And once this has happened to me. When I phoned in Arizona, I phoned for a wake-up call, and the woman answered. She's like, hey, Mr. Stratten, how are you? She answered the phone, which was weird. Like, if you ever call for a wake-up at a hotel, you're usually expecting an automated system. You ever called somebody and they answered and you weren't ready for it? Like, hello, you're like, ooh, can you hang up? Not ready to talk to you. Just, I got a canned message, I was hoping to leave. Not really expecting you to be in the office right now. And that's what happened. I'm like, oh, hey. I'm like, yeah, can I get a wake-up call for 7:30? And she says, ooh, that's really early. Would you like some coffee sent to your room since it's so early? That is really early. I would like some coffee sent to my room. She goes, do you want the coffee sent at 7:35? Because I know at 7:30, when I wake up, I'm not a very happy person. And I need a few minutes to get myself together. I'm not a very happy person either at 7:30. I will get it at 7:35. So I'm like, thank you. She's like, no problem. I hope you have a great night and even better tomorrow. And I'm just, thank you. I love you. Can I wake up call, lady? And I hang up the phone, and the next morning, the coffee comes at 7:35, and I have no problem paying $86 for the pot of coffee from room service, right? You know you paid it, right? No problem. I even gave a tip. Even when the line said tip already included, I'm like, I see what you did there. Tip. You know what the ROI of being awesome is? $87 pot of coffee. That's what the ROI of being awesome is. And I didn't have a problem. I didn't tweet it. Had no problem with it. It was great. This has happened once. Ever. Come on. She paid her entire state pay on a 45-second wake-up call. Awesome has ROI. The least expected areas can have the best ROI. The best. Really good people, and they don't have to be ones, again, that have 20 years experience. Really good people can save customers from leaving. They can turn a negative into a positive, and they can sell $86 pots of coffee. If I run a hotel, I'm doing a wake-up call person, and he's gonna be on commission. Every coffee you sell, $12. You're gonna get $12. And there you're selling coffee, it's going in style in the morning, right? It was amazing, and I never got her name. One day, I will find her. Just call every hotel. Hello, wake up call. Oh, you don't like your job. Okay. Hello, wake up call. Oh, you're automated. Okay, just look for them. So, this the difference is there's two types of customers we have in our world. There's static and ecstatic. What kind of customers do you have? Static customers are price sensitive. They will change companies in a drop of a hat. These are the Groupon people. These are the ones that will just leave and jump and jump and jump. Ecstatic customers are there for the long term. They don't need a loyalty program to stay with you. To me, a loyalty program is built on experiences, not a card. They're effective. There's certain ones that are very effective. But to me, loyalty is built on, I dig you. I love your company. I love what you do. That's a strong emotion. Ecstatic customers stay, static customers go. You want to shift the former to the latter. You want to move them up to ecstatic. And the problem is ecstatic can go back to static. That's the trouble. This is ever moving. If somebody tweets your company 5 times in 4 months about how much they love your product and you never reply, you never return the high five, you leave them hanging, which is embarrassing. You never return the high five, or on your Facebook page, same thing. If you don't return the high five, they start to become bitter. They start to suffer from brand resentment. Does that make sense? They start saying, if you don't care about me, why am I caring so much about you? It's a relationship. It's totally a relationship. Literally, it's like 2 people. One just can't give all the time. And if I'm giving you the money, at least you can do is return the high five. It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy, right? When a brand or somebody says something to you and when you shout out. I remember the first brand that ever replied to me on Twitter. It was back in 2008. I tweeted how much I love Cirque du Soleil, because I freaking love them. And I've been to like the shows in Vegas 21 times. I love them. I am an ecstatic customer for Cirque. And I tweeted saying I love Cirque. I've seen all the shows in Vegas. Who else does? I didn't put Cirque's name. I just put Cirque, but not at. Obviously, it's an easy word because of the way it's spelled. 5 minutes later, they wrote back and said, hey, thanks. We kind of like us too. They talk to me. They like me. They really like me. So you got to realize that sometimes, a lot of the times, people complimenting are also looking for acknowledgement. Just give them that. Even when I'm the busiest time I've got, if I go to Istanbul on a 14-hour flight, which means I have no connection for 14 hours, or I'm having 102 frickin' fever or something afterwards, at least I can do on my marketing page on Facebook is click like when somebody writes and says, I love your book. At least I can do the pitiful move of a like. Just to say, hey, I saw it. Because otherwise it sits there. And it just floats. And it looks poor. So you can shift these guys one way or the other, depending if you're paying attention to them and listening to them. And that's what I think one of the benefits of social media is. I don't think social is a good selling platform. I think it's a terrible selling platform. I live on social. I am the biggest social media fanboy you'll find. I would be the most popular Canadian on Twitter if it wasn't for Bieber. So there's that. Bieber. But I love social. I love engagement. I was doing social media like a lot of you were doing social media online before. It was called that. We just called it talking, chatting. That's all we did. It was just different, with message boards and IRC and ICQ and blogs and commenting and all that type of thing. So for me, the biggest issue is to make sure that we are always connecting with people. It's very hard to sell on social. It's very easy to acknowledge. It's very hard to sell. It's very easy to communicate. Social is more of a customer service channel. Social is more of an engagement channel. To me, social is a networking event. It's like here, you guys are talking in between sessions. When you're talking, you treat that conversation like Twitter. That's what I would do, right? The rules are the same for networking and Twitter, networking in person or Twitter online. Same rules apply. Don't pitch people. Don't talk about yourself the entire time. And don't do it drunk. It's very simple. Very simple rules to live by. Those are my 3. Those are my 3. So, and with Twitter, you don't have to wear pants. So it's really an advantage for everybody. But the problem is we go too far sometimes in tech. I get the honor and the pleasure of going all over the world to talk about tech a lot and social a lot. Like I said, Istanbul, don't eat everything. Australia, London twice. I did Amsterdam. I can't talk about it. And all over North America, talking about the stuff. And this is what I see is one of the biggest problems, is we use tech not because we should, but because we can. And this is a problem. Here's an example, my favorite example of the problem with tech and marketing is QR codes. If you don't know what a QR code is, I know a lot of you do. It's an app you download on your phone, it scans it, and it takes you usually to a specific website. Except we're horrible at them. As brands, companies, we're horrible. They're not scanned very often, and if they do, they don't usually work. This is a QR code made of Oreo cookies. It works. Don't scan it, focus here. Stay with me. But it works. The problem is we're using them because we can. We're going to put them on our ads, we use them everywhere, when in reality they don't always work properly. I've seen QR codes on billboards on the side of the QEW, the side of the Gardner going into Toronto. What do you want? What do you want me to do here? I was in Ottawa, and there was a billboard from the RCMP. It said, "Don't text and drive," with a very stern-looking RCMP person there. And then it had a QR code on the billboard. That's entrapment. Stop it. Stop. That's going to be the title of the third book, by the way. So stop it. You just stop using these things because we can, because it makes us look fancy. And we need to stop doing this as agencies and consultants saying, you need this. You don't. You don't need anything. You need it to fit with your marketplace, your needs, and your restraints. Budget, time, manpower, whatever that is, plus desire. Right? You can't just force it upon everybody. I've seen QR codes like this. They're plane pulling a QR code over the CNE in Toronto. What? It's gonna run after you across the lake so I can scan your non-working code? One of you in this room approved this. I don't know who did, but one of you did. You need to stop. I've seen QR codes in magazines on airplanes. Everyone. Think about it. I'm in the air. I have no signal. I had a consultant say, well, that's people take the magazines home. Only very lonely people take airline magazines home. If that's your market, then go for it. But the shut-in market's not very profitable. So be careful what you do. I have seen QR codes in emails. No? Don't understand it yet? Okay, I'll give you a visual. Here we go, ready? The email comes in here. You with me? All right. The camera scans the QR code, is over here on the other side. Okay? Unless I'm some sort of Jedi, trademark Disney Corporation, then I will not be able to scan it. I've had people say, well, yeah, but people download their email on their computer too. Then I'm already on the computer. Let me click it. It's called a link. That's what a QR code is. I've seen QR codes on websites. What? Why are you doing this? Then I scanned it with my phone. You know what it did? It took me to the website. I was like in the Matrix, and like scan, type, whoa, what the, how do we? And it wasn't mobile friendly. It didn't render properly on your phone. What the hell's wrong with you? Stop this. I've seen QR codes on bananas. On bananas. The oval little sticker, the Chiquita little sticker you see. It says QR code, scan for smoothie recipe. My girlfriend saw it, she's like, hey, scan that for a recipe. I'm like, all right. I scanned it. Video came up, said, sorry, not playable on a mobile device. The only thing scanning QR codes is mobile devices. Nobody's taking their PC and flipping it upside down like a webcam and get your freaking QR code smoothie recipe. And then I took it. I somehow found a way to email it, send it to my computer so I could look at it. You know how many views the video had? 7. And I bet 6 of those are the agency refreshing it to start, just to get it going. Stop it. I beg you. Stop using things because you can. Okay? It should be because you should. What purpose does it service? Why do we do it? Every time a member of the public scans a QR code and it doesn't work, they are less likely to scan the next one. Yes? We are breaking QR codes. And we just invented them. We just came out with this thing. I love them. I think QR codes are brilliant. I love the technology. I'm a huge geek. I love the technology. But to me, until cameras and Droids and Blackberries and iPhones, until the camera default natively can see a QR code and recognize it in the field, I don't think we're going to be at the adoption rate that's going to make it even remotely worth our while. The adoption level is so low right now, so low. And the codes take up so much space on ads. And I was in Vegas, and I hopped in a cab to go to a talk, and the cab had a TV in it. You're like, oh, neat. And the TV came up, and Steve Wynn came up. He owns the Wynn and is very famous in Vegas. He's like, I'm Steve Wynn, and here's a QR code. And the QR code comes up, and he goes, now swipe your phone. I'm like, what does that mean, Steve? What does swipe your phone? What? I don't. How do I do this? Lead me here. He goes, one of our new restaurants is blah, 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 overpriced, this, and this. And if you want reservations, scan the QR code. I'm like, oh yeah, look at them using it. And I go to grab my phone in my way too tight jeans in Vegas, and by the time I get it out, 3.5 seconds, I get it out to go scan it, it's gone. It was showed 2 seconds. Unless I ride in cabs like this the entire time, I'm not catching that QR code. Stop and think for a minute. Should we use these things? Not that we actually can. Stop doing this. In Atlanta, it's the Atlanta Medical Center. It's out on a bus. It says, scan here to view emergency room wait times and hold your place in the emergency room. Because you just rear-ended a bus. Who came up with this? I had some guy in an audience. I don't know where I find these people. Some guy put up his hand and goes, that's not for people driving, that's for people walking. Who walks behind a bus? And if you are walking behind the bus, you have bigger concerns than ER wait times. We're looking to a lawn care facility for you. Stop this. Stop doing it because it makes no sense to do these things, right? It's a waste of money and it's dangerous. This is actually potentially a lawsuit. And this is in the States. They sue you for blinking wrong there, right? I'm waiting for the law firm car accident billboard in like Florida or Buffalo to be up there, Shapiro and Shapiro with a QR code, and you crash your car scanning it, so then you get to sue them, and they represent you suing them. It's like a ridiculous circle effect. There's actually legal issues here that we don't realize because it's so new. If whatever you're doing, asking me to pull my phone out and use it, it's like why radio stations need to be careful. Okay, if they say email us on this or phone us on this, you've got to be careful on what the law is from the province or the state because you can get into trouble for it. I once heard an ad on the radio. It says, phone us and leave your email on our voicemail. What? What happened? Where did we go? How do we go back to 1993? What happened here? I don't understand, so please stop it. Please. And even with social, I started getting this a bit, social media success doesn't exist. I truly believe this. Social doesn't make anything better, okay? Social does not change anything. If your product or service sucks, it just sucks harder in social media. It doesn't fix it. If you're an ass, you're a bigger ass on Twitter, right? It does not change you. Obama did not raise the most money in the first election because of Facebook, and they did not win this election because of social. Social is a representation of the current conversations that are going around. It's just a vehicle. It's like saying telephones won the election for Reagan or something. They didn't. People talked on them, though. It's what they were saying. It's how they got people motivated and what to do. Social is a vehicle. That's it. It does nothing. Okay, I think there's actually good reasons not to use social. There's actually good reasons not to use Twitter. And you're talking to a huge fanboy here. But there's reasons not to use it. If you have no time, I know there's some entrepreneurs in this room, if you have no time because your time's strapped, it's not a good place to go. It's a huge time drain. If you have 3 minutes a week, don't sign up for Twitter. It's like walking into a networking event and saying, what's up everybody? I gotta go. And walking out the door. It doesn't work. It's a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. Another reason not to use social is if you hate people. It's a bad place to hang out. There's a lot of people there. I truly believe this authenticity movement we've got going right now is not a great thing all the time. I don't think some CEOs and executives should have unfiltered access to the general public. I really don't. They need buffer. They need layers. They need PR people and assistants and handlers because they have no idea what the real world is like. Okay, we see things that can happen when it does happen. So when Kenneth Cole tweeted about the riots in Cairo last year, and he's like, I think they're rioting because of our new spring fashion line. And he used the hashtag Cairo. Ta-da! Wow, he's kind of an ass. Because he has his own account. Because he is Kenneth Cole. That's him. That's his name. He doesn't need access. He doesn't need to do these things. I don't think it's... I do think, though, if you're going to do it right. There's too many social sites. There's too many places. I don't think you need to be everywhere. I think you need to be great at where you are. There's a difference between those two things. You don't have to have Google+, LinkedIn, Facebook, MySpace because of Timberlake now, Twitter, and everything else. You don't need it. I don't think you need everything. Find out where your audience is and go there. I joined Twitter not to get customers. I joined Twitter to get a water cooler. Because I'm being an entrepreneur, I have no water cooler. I have no way to talk to other people. And I got on there to find other business owners. That's it. And I found the most wonderful, supportive, intelligent, funny, great people I have anywhere else in the world, online or off, because of Twitter. It still works that way. It's not exactly the same as it was in 08, 09, because people back then were on Twitter because they wanted to be. And now people are on Twitter because they have to be. Huge difference between that conversation. Huge difference between that momentum. So you got to be careful how it works. But when I joined Twitter in April 08, my reaction was a lot like yours, which was, this is stupid. I don't understand it. It takes, Twitter takes a lot of momentum. Like, it takes a lot of realize to get into it and go. And so I dabbled on Twitter for like 8 months. I got 1,200 followers in 8 months. And this is PB though, by the way. This is pre-Bieber on Twitter, pre-Jonas, pre-Ashton Kutcher, Gaga, all this, pre-celebrity really on Twitter. And then I decided in January 2009 that I was going to live on Twitter for 30 days. And if it didn't work, I'm done. And if I connected greatly, then I'd stay. Literally. And I took 30 days. I literally lived on Twitter for 30 days. This bar graph here, that red bar on the left, it's number of tweets per month. That big red bar on the left represents almost 7,000 tweets for me in January 09. Look how many I had before that. Can you guess where I started getting something on Twitter? It was right there. And that's the difference, is people don't realize that it's not that number though. 9,000 or 7,000 tweets means nothing. I went from 1,200 followers to 10,000 in that 1 month. But I lived on Twitter, literally. Like from waking up to going to sleep. You ever done that? You're like, how many people, anybody here tweet horizontally? Like from bed? You ever tweet horizontally? Yeah, just like 3 of us, because the rest of you won't admit to it. Cool. You ever drop your phone on your face? Nothing hurts more. I have had 3 knee surgeries. I have an issue with my rotator cuff right now. I think I have malaria. Nothing hurts more than that when it hits right here. You're like, oh, sweet mercy! I need to tweet this, right? And then you got to tell the world you just dropped it on your face. And then you look around, like, did anybody see that? No? Okay, good. There's some secret cameras. So I went from 1,200 followers to 10,000. I now have over 135,000 followers. I tweeted over 90,000 times. And those numbers mean nothing. They're not your goal. It's not your aim. If you're going to have a goal, a plan, or an aim, I want you to use one number. Take this one number. Write this one number down. This is it. It's all I want you to walk away today from is this. That, oh, press that button. There we go. 75% of my tweets are replies. That's your magic right there. There's your secret to social. You want to be a brand that engages, that benefits from social. You want to be a person that benefits from it. And really, to me, Twitter especially is a personal game necessarily, not necessarily always a brand game. You connect with other people. Not like Facebook where it's a brand page and there's people coming to it all the time. I think there's a huge personal connection on Twitter. 75% of my tweets are replies. That's consistent from 1,000 tweets to 92,000 tweets now. That number has stayed almost identical. It's actually 78% now, I think. That's your goal. Not that exact number, but Twitter's a conversation, not a dictation. That's a good tweet too. Go ahead. And they'll get retweeted a lot because it's about Twitter on Twitter. That's how it works. Go ahead. But that's the thing. It's a conversation. You talk with people, not at them. There's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. And you can do it whatever way you want. There's no rules. But if you want to do it well and connect and get something from the network, you've got to give to the network. And not in a cheesy way, in a real connection type of way, it works. So even with Twitter, talking about talking is in real time. And what I mean by this is, back in the day, I mean 4 or 5 years ago, as brands, if we got an inquiry from a customer or a problem or a complaint, we had days, maybe a week, maybe a few weeks to get back to them. Remember when shipping was always 6 to 8 weeks for delivery? And now it's a day, 2 days, right? And everything, you're panicking, you're tweeting because you haven't got your item instead of real time. Talking is in real time. Now we have hours, maybe a day, to get back to people. We expect, your expectations as customers have changed. If you tweet something, how soon do you expect a reply? usually in one day, in a business day, right? If not in hours, during regular business hours, our expectations have changed. So when I tweet something like, if anyone has a contact at Kudu Mobile, please message me. My little brother has had nothing but problems and no resolution. My family only talks to me when they want me to tweet something. Scott, can you go on Tweezer and tell them that I'm not happy? And my mom's saying, go on Bookface. I didn't like how this worked. Mom, I can't do that. All right, fine. So I tweet this to Kudu Mobile, right, one of the cell phone companies here, and their response to me was nothing. This is almost 2 years ago. They never replied. But 4 minutes after this original tweet, Virgin Mobile Canada replied, your little bro should switch to Virgin Mobile. Just saying. How great is that? People say tweets don't have ROI. This has an ROI. Guess who my brother uses for a cell phone company now? Virgin Mobile. I've put 5 phones through these guys. It's worth $4,000 a year to these guys. Twitter's got an ROI if you're good. If you're good at it. And they did it great. And this is Tally. She runs one of the accounts for Virgin here. And she DM'd me saying, hey, it's Tally. Here's my email address. Have your brother drop me a line. I'll hook him up. And you know, we always want to be hooked up, right? We always want to feel like we're hooked up, right? Get a hookup, right? Whatever that is. And she gave him like free voicemail or something. What the? You know, it's like 8 cents. Like, and she's like, hey, free voicemail. I was like, nice, hook up. Right? He's paying $400 a month or whatever for his phone, but free voicemail that nobody ever calls me because I'm 22. That's what he says. So, but he gets a hookup, right? People think, well, I get it for free. So I would be paid. Every phone I go through is paid. But Tally is Virgin Mobile to me now. She's personalized the brand. If I ever have a problem with one of the phones, do you think I'm going to tweet it in the general public? No, I'm going to message her privately. Getting to know people on social allows you to develop benefit of the brand out. It allows you to not have this confrontation in public. They'll drop you a line instead, and it's a huge, huge thing. The flip side of this, if you're not great at Twitter, this type of thing happens. This is a friend of mine, Jessica. She tweets, note that even if T-Mobile service doesn't work for you after you purchase it, they will not waive the early termination fee. She's tweeted T-Mobile help and T-Mobile. I don't know if you ever trying to break your phone contract and how much it would cost you. If I broke my BlackBerry contract right now, it'd be $93,000 I think to get out of it. I'm on a 72-year plan right now with my phone. But hey, free phone. So, you gotta balance it out, right? So she tweets this. Notice that she's gone all caps 3 times in this tweet. That's just set off your interior alarms. Have one social media policy. If a customer goes all caps, just use kid gloves. Just relax with it. How would you reply? You'd say something like, we're sorry about this. Please send us a direct message. Let's take care of this for you. Let us know your account number. Drop us an email. Phone us here. We're here to help, right? Or do you say, we're sorry it didn't work for you, not to sound rude, but after buyer's remorse, you're under contract. So that problem solved. On to the next tweet. It's a good day, Jeff. We're rocking through these tweets today. Customer service at its best. And so she sees this reply, and what do you think she does? She just says, oh, okay, that's cool, thanks. Or does she write a blog post and lose her mind about this? She has 96,000 followers, right? But even if she had 96 followers, it doesn't make a difference. There's 2 groups of people you do not want to piss off in this social world. Geeks and moms. And if they're a geek mom, look out. They will mess you up virtually. They will take you down. So be very careful how you do these things. One of the favorite sections in the book, by the way, is called Third Circle. And I've been running my company for 12 years now, and we were really in the viral, not this viral, but viral world of sharing content. We used to make viral videos. I hate the term viral video, by the way, just can't stand it. But we made viral videos, so we did. We made a lot of them before YouTube and before broadband, so it was really sensitive file sizes and everything else. We made 65 movies for clients. We got 65 million views. And with dial-up, it's huge. So we were kind of the first back in the day to do that. And we tried to come up with a way of why people spreaded content, why they shared content. And we came up with this with Third Circle here. This is you, okay? This is you as a person or you as a brand, whatever that is. And you share content. That can be a picture, a blog post, a tweet, a video, a product, audio, podcast, book, I don't care, whatever. And you share it, and it goes out to your first circle. This is your friends, your fans, your followers, your customers, your family, whoever. This first circle is no challenge to get your message to. They're already connected with you, subscribers, readers, whatever. You always can get to these people. And a certain percentage of these people will always see your stuff, and a certain percentage of those will always share your stuff. You know what I mean? But it's conditional. A lot of times they share your content because it's conditional, meaning they work for you, so they're trying to kiss your ass and share it all the time, right? You ever had somebody, an employee or somebody, click like on something a little too quickly when you shared it? Like, simmer down, they're keen employee, easy now, right? You're not getting the raise, right? They jump on it real quick, or they like you. They find you attractive. That's literally one of the reasons why people share content. It can be because I'm a customer, so I'm already endeared to you. So I like your content better because I already like you. Because if Cirque put out a blog post, I'd share it, not necessarily because the blog post is amazing, but because I think Cirque's amazing. There's a difference between those two things. But for when I share the stuff from your first circle, it then hits the second circle. That's my circle of content, my people. These are the people that you hope your content gets shared by. They have no brand umbilical cord attached to you. They have no condition to you. They share content based on content alone. These are the people who share good videos, great blog posts, awesome content. Because when they share it, it goes to the third circle, and that's where you're aiming for in viral. Farthest reach from you, and it just goes. Now, if a video has 1 million views, is it viral? You don't know. If it was emailed to 10 million people, then no, it's not necessarily viral. If a video has 1,000 views, it may be viral if it was shared with 50 people, right? Numbers don't mean as much as we think. We need to be very careful with numbers, okay, because they don't mean a heck of a lot, right? 135,000 followers don't mean very much. Doesn't mean I know what I'm doing necessarily. That and $5 gets me a latte, right? Numbers are deceiving. So be very careful in social numbers especially because they're public. Twitter would be a different place if they didn't show following numbers. You know what I mean? Imagine how different that would be. Imagine how unconcerned you'd be then by that point if publicly nobody could see your numbers. Because it's a game system now. There's a lot to do with the election about buying followers and a whole bunch of other stuff that was going on. So you got to be careful and watch those numbers. Here's an example of what gets shared. That's a watermelon. I didn't need to tell you that, but that's a high-res watermelon. You're welcome. I bought that for a produce association event in Monterey, California this weekend. I spent $32 on it for my stock. So I'm going to leave it up there for a little longer to get a better ROI. All right, that's good. So that's a watermelon. That's that second circle, right? First circle with share. It's like, hey, Scott, that crazy guy, he's sharing watermelons. I like this. And then nobody else cares, right? It just dies from there. If I carve that watermelon into a turtle, make it into a fruit bowl, people share it. This is from Pinterest. It's got 1,145 repins. Now, anybody here on Pinterest? Yeah? How good is this place? How great is Pinterest? Right? If you're not on Pinterest, it's simply just like that. You just take pictures and you repin them. You put them on your own board. And it's 97% women and me. Seriously. It's like a lot of pictures of shoes and tattoos and Ryan Gosling with no shirt on. And Ryan Gosling with tattoos and shoes, you know, at the same time. So, you know, it's awesome. It's great. You know, it's a very cool site. But it's just understand that Pinterest is built on passion, not profit. The reason why it works is because of passion, and now brands are ruining it. Businesses are breaking it. We're killing it. We're killing the soul of Pinterest and most other places when we try to get on there and monetize it too quickly or in the wrong way and we don't understand it. Another example of a dog. This is not my dog, although I do have a dog. This is another iStock model. If I shared a picture of my dog's name's Kirby. If I shared a picture of him and you don't know me, you don't care. You really don't care about my dog. If you knew me, you're like, hey, it's Kirby. If you don't, you're like, whatever, I don't care, right? But if I shared a picture of a dog getting hit in the coin purse with a tennis ball, you may share that, right? This has been viewed over 2 million times. Remember I said the problem with numbers? So the data shows you that if you want to go viral, just hit animals in the twig and berries and you're good to go. I don't want this to happen. I don't want people sitting in boardrooms saying, just hold them. Just shooting tennis balls at them. Case studies are dangerous, all right? Please don't do this. This is not... And he's a nice dog, too. Like, he's happy. He's going for a car ride. I don't understand what happened, how that happened. But there you go. And there's something like this, too. If the person beside you is not laughing, can you explain it to them? I don't want to. I don't know if you've ever been to Wisconsin before, but this defines the people of Wisconsin. I love people in Wisconsin. I have some great friends in Wisconsin, and they are totally this way. So, and it's got through like 12 people, by the way, approvals. Right? Like none of them have been on the internet ever, right? None of them have seen it, and they changed it to this because of what it stood for. And I see that, I'm like, what the? Why would you do that? See what I did there? Okay. So now it's not the first logo. I would drive to Wisconsin just to take a picture with it. I would go for some cheese curds, hit a Packers game, and then pose with the logo. That's what I'd do. And the second one, no, I'm not going. Right? So we all lose when the WTF is removed from, because we shared that. You're not going to share the one on the right? But you'd share the one on the left, yes? Of course you would. You want to talk about tourism, make it the what the state, and it'll go amazing. It's different. Because we share things, because as customers we've been beaten down for centuries. We have no recourse, right? Back in the day, there's a lot of call centers, by the way. Back in the day, you used to write a sternly written letter, or email, or phone call, and they may or may not send you a coupon. One of the reasons I love social, I'm huge when it comes to community and grassroots, when it comes to that everybody should have a voice. It's very important to me. And with Twitter, nobody has more than 140 characters. You could have more followers, but nobody, no brand, no amount of money can buy more characters, right? If they're selling it, I'd totally buy it, but it's 140 characters. So when we're upset, we're allowed to share things. Now, bigger brands have more followers, but I'm going to show you right now about how it doesn't matter a lot of the times, actually. Here's an example. It's that we waited 30 minutes and no service. Who do you feel bad for here, by the way, the customer or the waitress? If you feel bad for the server, understand that this customer had the time and privacy to go all caps ketchup on them. And then had the further time and perseverance to underline in mustard. Who are you feeling bad for? It's got viewed 3 million times. Why? Because it's awesome. That's why. This woman shared this receipt when she was at a restaurant. I'm not pregnant, but thanks for the eating for two comment. Oh. Gentlemen in this room, listen to me very carefully. This is the most important thing I've ever said. Never, ever assume she's pregnant. Unless she tells you to your face, or you can see the head. Do not assume she's pregnant. That was potentially the drugs talking. So we'll let that go. Don't tweet that. But that's it. 4 million views while she's sitting there at the restaurant. Because it's awesome. That's why. We share these things. It goes up on Reddit. It hits, Fark. It hits Dig. It hits these social bookmarking sites, and hits Twitter and Facebook and flies. Because we support each other. We rally around each other. And that's a very, very important point. Here's an example. This is a tweet of a receipt from Papa John's Pizza on Broadway in New York. I've been to this location. It says, "Hey Papa John's, just FYI, my name isn't Lady Chinky Eyes." If you look on the bottom of the receipt, it says name Lady Chinky Eyes. Some restaurants, some fast food, like with front counters, they'll describe the customer on the receipt so you know who to give the pizza to. Green jacket, blue hat, racist name. Whatever works that day is fine. They gave her the wrong receipt. This is the store's copy. Oopsie. And she tweets this while walking out of the Papa John's Pizza, tweets this picture. She has 30 followers. Who cares, right? But one of her followers follows me. And she takes the tweet and shows it to me and says, "Hey Scott, what do you think about this?" And I'm like, "Oh, giddy up." And I take it. And I retweet it, and I send it out to, at the time, 123,000 people. And this geek-a-lanch happens of an epic proportion. The receipt gets posted on their Facebook page 100 times. People freaking out. You know what their response was that day? Nothing. because it was a Saturday. Nobody home. Sorry, Monday to Friday. Outrage does not take a weekend off. You gotta be on the ball. You open your brand up, you're a big enough brand, that ear's gotta be open 24/7. I'm not trying to get you paranoid, but this thing happens, and it usually happens on the weekend. The biggest clusterfucks online of brands has been the weekends, because the momentum kicks in. And the problem is you gotta catch the viral with an apology, with deleting it, whatever that is. You gotta catch it before it takes off, because now it goes social, blogging, mainstream. That's what happens, right? Goes around Twitter, on Facebook, on a not-so-known blog, people tweet it, and what happens is then Huffington Post grabs it, and then CNN grabs it. That's kind of the process now, right? Like CNN goes to Twitter to find their news, right? So you got to catch it before it hits that last tier or you're screwed. And that's the problem. What happens, here's an example of a tweet during the election, the debates. Obama's grandma even knew it was going to be bad. She died 3 days before he became president, with the hashtag NBC Politics during the debate. So this came up in the debate stream. How horrible is this tweet? I don't care what your political affiliation is. How horrible is this tweet? This is a terrible person. This person is a bad person. And it was tweeted by KitchenAid USA. What happened here was one of the guy who tweets for them has an app on his phone that allows you to switch between accounts. So instead of sending this message on his personal account, his protected account, he sent it under one of the most recognizable appliance brands in the world. Oops. I'll just delete it. You know there's people like me taking screenshots of stuff, right? Like, we need content for the next book. So we take screenshots. So what KitchenAid did 4 minutes later, they deleted it and said, deepest apologies for an irresponsible tweet that is in no way representation of the brand's opinion. And they put the hashtag in again. 3 minutes or 4 minutes later, they deleted it, put this up. So the apology caught the viral. So every news station and all news stations talked about this. They all included the apology. You see what I mean about catching the viral? If you're quick enough, the apology, so you don't have to field a million media calls saying, what's your stance, when you've already said it. That's the difference. You gotta be careful on what goes out there, because this stuff can fly. And she got interviewed, the person who wrote this tweet, and said, we've removed him from tweeting, we gotta look at our policies. I'm like, what policy? Not talking about a president's dead grandmothers in your policy? That's not a social media problem, that's a hiring problem. The less morons you hire, the less this happens. I'm fully for the movement, I would call it like Bill 66. Less morons in the company, right? We're gonna march some kind of hill somewhere and make sure the less morons, less problems. It really is happening. So you gotta look at it that way. Here's an example from this guy tweets Nenshi. Nenshi's the mayor of Calgary. Great guy on social media, great politician. This guy tweets, hey Nenshi, what's the point of the ridiculously expensive bridge again? What does it signify? And she replies, I think it's to be used to cross the river. You know, just throwing it out there. Their faces look like they're talking in real time, too. As yelling, and then she's like, yeah, I got this, right? You know, if you're quick and you're good and you're funny, truly funny, then it can work out really, really well. Here's an example from Men's Humor. This morning I gave birth to a food baby, and I think Taco Bell is the father. We have lunch coming up, right? All right. Taco Bell replies back, I want a DNA test. Taco Bell can be awesome about food babies. You can be awesome in what you do. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I really appreciate it. That's my time.